Hey, today I'm talking about 3 French language horror films, all from the teens. And the names of those 3 movies are Knife Plus Heart, Ravenous, and Evolution. First up is Knife Plus Heart. This is a 2018 French film, and the basic premise is this lesbian runs a gay film production company, but wouldn't you know it, someone's murdering the gays. And the movie's interesting. It's definitely shot really well. It's also very sexual, which I'm very okay with that, but I'm not able to connect to that element, so kind of a lot of the sexualness of the movie was lost on me. The movie's also a bit of a mystery, and the mystery was decent. My main issue with that is that it's really not explored until near the end of the film, and so even though I liked the mystery, it's just most of the film, none of it's happening, and then suddenly it's all happening, and it's really satisfying. But I needed more of that spread out through the entire film, which makes me feel that this was a good concept. It just was too stretched thin. We needed either more mystery and more story, or the whole thing just needed to be a short film. I think this would have made a really solid 20-minute short, because it's definitely a good concept. There's just not a lot to this movie. They also shot it very well. I will definitely give them that, and the kills were good. So I liked it. Would I recommend it? I mean, if it sounds interesting, sure, go for it, but don't get your hopes up too high. If what I've said so far, it hasn't really piqued your interest, yeah, don't bother. It's definitely not bad, it's just, it could have been a lot better. So, yeah. Next up is Ravenous. This is a 2018 French-Canadian film. This is the French part of Canada, not France and Canada, which I didn't realize till way too late. But anyway, the basic premise is it's a zombie apocalypse. That's about it. We're just following some survivors in the zombie apocalypse. They don't really do anything interesting. There is one aspect of this film that they just barely touch on, and it's clearly meant to be really important, and it is interesting, but they don't do anything with it. So I can't really give them credit for it. It's just nothing. It's there and it's interesting, but it doesn't go anywhere or do anything. It's just a weird thing that's not explored whatsoever. It's stuff with stacking. So this movie was okay. It's just your run-of-the-mill zombie story, and it's fine. It does a lot of the tropes well, but we're kind of past the zombie renaissance. So it's if you're gonna do a zombie thing, you gotta do something interesting with it, and they didn't. So again, I didn't hate this movie. This movie was fine. It just you gotta do a lot more. I've seen loads of zombie movies. This is so run-of-the-mill. The kills were nice and decent effects. All the actors were fine. The stories that they did were fine. It's just you gotta do something more interesting than just standard zombie affair. So would I recommend it? If you really love zombie movies, yeah, it's definitely not bad. But if you're not top tier zombie movie person, not really. I mean, this is a nice background noise type of movie, but it's in French, so. And lastly is Evolution. This is a 2016 film, and the basic premise is, I'm not really sure. They didn't explain anything. I think the story takes place on an island that was never fully confirmed, but it felt like an island. But it's a strange island. There's only little boys, 12 years old, who are all skinny, and they live with their mothers, who are all these very pale, same-looking women that wear kind of peasant clothes, and they cook the children terrible things that you would think a witch would make. And they also give them medicine, and then they're also experimenting on them, trying to make stuff with them. I thought the women were witches, but I don't think they are. And then I was are they mermaids? And I don't think they are. They have suction cup things on their back, so maybe they're an octopus people? But they were also maybe grown in a lab, and then these women are trying to sort of replicate that using the boys to grow clones or something. They watch a video on how to do a C-section, and then they maybe do some C-sections. I don't really know. This movie didn't explain anything. So yeah, I have no idea what this movie was about. It was shot well, and I would say the performances are well. There's a bit where a nurse and one of the boys kind of bond over art, and I was like, that was fun. So yeah, it wasn't the worst, but I don't know what this film is. If you know, please enlighten me. I'm always open to other people's interpretations, especially if they understand something that I did not get at all. So yes. Would I recommend it? No, don't. Unless you want some weird art house thing that you think you can interpret, then go for it. Otherwise, no. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Knife Plus Heart sitting at number 154 in the like section. And then a little ways down from that is Ravenous sitting at number 165, also in the liked category. And then bringing up the rear is Evolution sitting at number 189 in the meh category. And this is a total of 222 old movies so far this year.